Hi, this is Emily of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Ezekiel Drews, host of Podcast, A Star Wars Story, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Podcast, A Star Wars Story, where we talk about anything and everything Star Wars. A new show comes out bi-monthly. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Podcast, A Star Wars Story. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Coffee with Keith.
And Katie on Public House Media.
We have our coffee with us.
Always.
Hope you have your coffee with you.
Happy Valentine's Day, guys. We're celebrating Valentine's Day with you since we don't have our show on Wednesday.
Yep, so this is our Valentine's Day.
It is.
With you guys.
With you.
Yeah.
But if you watch the show Parks and Recreation, Leslie Knope has Galentine's Day,
Yep.
which is reserved for ladies, and it's awesome. If you have not seen Parks and Rec, watch it immediately.
Parks and Rec is great. I did not watch it for a while because I'm like, the same people from The Office. It's just going to be like a remake of The Office with Leslie Knope being Michael Scott. It's not. It's like completely different. Its own humor, and it's really good. So if you haven't seen it, go check out Parks and Rec. This is all of a sudden turned into a plug for Parks and Rec. So if they get a big uptick on Netflix, maybe Netflix can flow some of that cash our way.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how it works. With Netflix.
Anyway,
Probably
hi
not.
David.
David, how's it going, man?
Welcome.
Happy Valentine's Day, David.
Happy Valentine's Day. So we talk about our predictions.
Let's talk about our predictions.
We did Purdue and Michigan State.
Purdue and Michigan
basketball.
State. Yep. I thought Purdue was going to win after losing a tight one to Ohio State at home, which, Mr. Fuzzy Face, don't bump the camera.
Fuzz is resting against our stand.
I thought Purdue was going to come back and beat Michigan State after a tough loss against Ohio State, which ended their big win streak. But Michigan State ended up pulling it out at the end. So I was wrong. I think my prediction was 81 to 75. Right? Hi, Elle.
Hi, Elle.
I was wrong.
I predicted Michigan State would win.
Yep.
And I think I said
Michigan
something
State
like
won.
98 to 91.
Yeah, something like that.
It was in the 90s.
Yeah, both scores were off. Mine was obviously off because I had Purdue winning. Katie was correct.
Yes.
So Katie wins that one
Yay.
because Michigan State won. So good job for Katie.
Very excited.
What do you guys do for Valentine's Day? Katie and I, we don't do a lot.
Are you pro? It's not a big deal for us. It's really an excuse to go out for some coffee or pizza. Tomorrow we're going to do Giordano's.
Giordano's, yeah.
I love Giordano's.
They do heart-shaped pizzas.
Aww.
Yeah, but
Adorable.
but we're not big Valentine's Day people. Katie told me at first that she wasn't, like when we first started dating. And she's like, we don't have to do anything nice for Valentine's Day or whatever. I'm like, there's a new girlfriend that I have. Like, I call total BS on that, and she's just trying to test me. So I did do something nice for her, and she said, thank you, I appreciate it very much. However, I was serious when I said, Valentine's Day isn't that big of a deal for me. I said, well, okay, fine. She says that after she gets a present. So next year, I didn't do anything for Valentine's Day. And, sure enough, wasn't a big deal.
Didn't care.
We were already engaged at that point, though, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
It's not a big deal for me.
Yeah.
But I'll use it as an excuse to go out.
It's the same with everybody, yeah.
To put on makeup, maybe. Put on jeans. Who knows? Get crazy. Could be a crazy time.
Take a shower.
Take a shower.
Get out of the house a little bit. But what do you guys do for Al? What do you do for Valentine's Day? David, what do you do for Valentine's Day?
I'm sure it's different for you, Elle and Ben, since you've got the kids, but...
Now, David, careful when you tell us what you do for Valentine's Day, because you can't be mixing up all of your girlfriends' names, so...
Yes, do be very careful. But I know there's a whole movement against Valentine's Day.
Is there?
You haven't heard this?
A whole movement?
It's been a movement for many years.
Okay.
Single people, mostly, do not like Valentine's Day.
Wow.
Okay. You met someone today who didn't like Valentine's Day, and he's in a relationship.
He's in a relationship who doesn't like Valentine's Day. I mean, I don't know. I think I've met people both that are not in a relationship that don't like Valentine's Day because they wish they were in one, and people that are in a relationship that dislike Valentine's Day because they're like, it's just a reason for me to have to spend money on something, completely. So, do you really need an excuse to treat your significant other to a nice night out?
He does.
I don't need an excuse. I do nice things for you all the time. Putting me on blast in front of everybody. Give me a break.
No coffee for you, little fuzz.
Well, this year, Katie and I, we also said we're not going to do anything.
Well, we said, okay, we're going to make Valentines for each other, and we'll share them on our show. We did. I called
today and I asked, did you make me a Valentine? And Katie's like, no, I didn't. I'm like, well, good, because I didn't have time to make you a Valentine today either. So, Valentines.
I do have a bottle of body armor. It's a drink, but it's red, and I was going to put a note on it that said, love potion number 9. But
David says, well, it's a busy day. A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by myself. See more. I'm gonna click that.
Little bit of Rita is all I need. Little bit of Tina is what I see.
And it just keeps going.
Da, 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 da.
Good job, David.
Good job, David. I like that song.
So I didn't make anything for Katie today.
But I did end up making something. I was very domestic today. I made lasagna, and I made heart-shaped chocolate chip cookies.
Yay!
Some turned out better than others.
They're good though. They turned out really good.
They're really good. This one's a broken heart. This one's a loner. All by itself. It was really weird though. The recipe said you don't need a cookie cutter. You just shape the dough into a heart shape. Put it in the freezer.
Yeah.
So it keeps its shape. And then take it out. Cut it up so you've got these hearts, and put it in the oven. You're trying to cut through frozen dough. I went through 3 knives and a pizza cutter to finally get all of them cut. It was a disaster.
Yeah.
I won't do it again. Probably. Until I forget what I have suffered here today.
Well, I actually got you something because I knew you were making cookies. It's nothing big.
We said we weren't
It's
doing
nothing.
anything.
It's nothing big. It's nothing big.
You're gonna do this to me on live television in front of our
cookies, so
millions of viewers?
You make cookies, so it's
Look at
okay.
this. I thought I was such a good wife today. Very domestic.
All right.
Now he shows me.
First of all,
is there more than one?
there are 2 things.
Oh my god.
Well, the first one is this. Happy Valentine's Day.
Spider-Man! Spider-Man says, hope your day is amazing!
There were 4 different types of Valentines within the entire box. 4? Are you serious? 4 different types of Valentines?
Happy Valentine's Day to Katie from Keith. I love you. Aww. Isn't that sweet? Tell me you didn't buy a whole box just to give me one go.
Bought a whole box just to give you one Valentine.
That's so sweet.
Do you want me to tell you how much I spent on that whole box?
Go ahead. Wait, let me guess. How many were in the box?
32.
You could have just taken a post-it and said, I love you.
32.
I'm going to criticize your gift now. I'm going to say it was $10.
$2.99.
Oh, okay.
The Hallmark, though.
Hallmark.
I walk past the Hallmark store
Hallmark
on my way to work every day.
Spider-Man.
On my way to work every day, I walk past the Hallmark store. I was walking home from work today. I'm like, yeah, all right. Let's see what they got. And
Oh, that's very sweet of you. And Reese's Pieces!
so happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. I love Reese's Pieces.
So, there are 31 other people at work tomorrow that are going to get Spider-Man Valentines.
Aww. They're all Spider-Man?
They're all Spider-Man. They're all different, just different. But I opened the box, and I'm like, 32 Spider-Man. There are only 4 different Valentines on there.
Yeah,
So
I can see that.
I remember when I was in school, and like when you'd give away the Valentines or whatever, and I'd have like the football ones, the NFL ones, and I would pick out which like NFL player I would give to which person, like based on who I liked the most.
Aww.
Everybody did that too.
Yeah.
I'm
You saved the best one for the person you liked.
like I wasn't gonna give the Brett Favre Valentine to like the smelly kid in the back that I didn't like.
No.
But I feel bad for the smelly kid in the back that nobody liked, because this kid just got random NFL players every year. It just he's probably just like, who is this? Like, this guy's the backup running back for the Chargers. There's no way he had a Valentine, whoever that was. I'm just saying.
No. Ha ha ha! Upper hand to the husband. Enjoy it while it lasts. Keith man, getting Valentines where he can.
Like it.
You can stash the extra Spider-Man cards for future years.
Sure, I'm gonna just use them all tomorrow.
But he's gonna lose them.
People are getting
He will
Spider-Man
lose them.
cards tomorrow. They had, I could have gotten Beauty and the Beast.
Aww.
But I'm like, they were all like had Belle on it and everything like that. I'm like, that's And then
Spider-Man is very you.
And then there was Frozen. I should have got. Now I'm thinking.
Let it go.
Do you want to build a snowman or ride your bike around the hall?
Keith worked in a kids center when that movie first came
Nursery.
out. Nursery. So 3 times a day you watch that.
We had infants. I once watched Frozen 7 times in 3 days. True story. True stories.
And he's okay with still watching it.
Yeah, it's a good show. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. All right.
We're getting
All right.
carried away.
Moving on.
So, whatever your Valentine's deal is, love it, hate it, there are at least some great memes out there,
Yeah.
We wish you a happy Valentine's Day, whether
Happy
you want it or
Valentine's
not.
Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, L. Happy Valentine's Day. And happy Valentine's Day tomorrow. Keith, we're down to NFL and NBA.
It's time for NFL or NBA.
Or Humiliate Katie.
And it's going to be great.
Yes. He was researching up to the last minute. I'm going to eat.
And there's one guy I have to check just to make sure. All right.
He's not even done.
I'm going to start with one that I know I've said before, but I want to see if you remember, and it's significant.
Oh. Okay.
It's kind of significant.
All right.
Isaiah Thomas.
I know that name.
I know you know that.
Football season's over. I'm going to say NBA.
It is NBA.
Yay!
Isaiah Thomas was traded from the Boston Celtics to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And at the trade deadline, the Cavaliers basically traded away everybody on their roster who was not named LeBron James.
Why?
Because they just did. They were not playing well, and they're like, let's just get rid of everyone. I mean, they got some good players, in return for everybody that they gave up, but they pretty much just completely traded away their entire roster for a new one, and they did pretty well against the Boston Celtics the other night. Anyways, Isaiah Thomas, NBA, got that one right. Question from the Peanut Gallery. What's the most romantic sport?
Of the 4 major sports or any sport?
4 major ones.
Because I would say, like, ballet is the most romantic.
Ballet isn't a sport.
They are athletes.
They can be.
People are
They're athletes, but it's not a sport. It's an activity. It's a competition. It's not like a sport.
It's an art.
There you go. It's an art. It's not a sport.
Of the 4, any sport.
Any sport.
Would you say Olympic figure skating is a sport?
Oh yeah. It's different. Yeah.
What's the most romantic one then? That seems like the obvious choice.
Curling.
Curling.
Curling is the one.
Why?
Isn't it obvious?
I'm gonna say.
I have no idea.
I'm gonna say.
That's a good question.
I'm gonna say it's the football because of all the hugging that goes on. Sometimes they even fall to the ground with their hugs.
Some would call that a tackle.
Some might. For
Okay.
Valentine's Day, I choose to call it aggressive embrace.
I'm going to call it baseball because it's a sport in which you can have a conversation with somebody for 2 hours, look back at the game, and realize you haven't missed a darn thing. It's a great first date sport, I would say. Let's go to a ball game, buy her a couple hot dogs, maybe a beer, and we'll just have a nice chat for the next 3.5 hours and be interested in the bottom of the ninth. So that's I would say baseball.
I like before each playing football how the players get together and tell each other secrets. Right, it's a mini slumber party.
It's a good one.
Was it, David? Football
All right.
is the most romantic sport.
Player number 2,
Oh,
NFL or
I
NBA,
forgot we were playing this.
Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson. I don't know that name. But Johnson isn't...
I really don't know it either.
I wouldn't say Johnson is a basketball name. So I'm
You wouldn't say Johnson is a basketball name?
No?
Magic Johnson?
Oh,
Irving Johnson?
okay. I'm still gonna say NFL.
Josh Johnson is an NFL name. He is a quarterback for the Houston Texans. Now, while I was looking up Josh Johnson of the Houston Texans, I looked him up for a specific reason.
Is he new
No,
to the
he's
Texans?
not. He is new to the Texans. This guy has played for so many teams. Hang on.
Coach Joson.
I did it quick. All right.
Coach
now,
Joson.
Now I know we're getting off on a little bit of a tangent here, but I had to look up somebody for a specific reason. This guy's first season in the NFL was 2008, and he's been in the league for that time. Listen to the number of teams he's been on since 2008.
What?
Tampa Bay, San Francisco, Sacramento Mountain Lions. That's not NFL. But he was with the Mountain Lions in that. Anyways, Tampa Bay, San Francisco, Sacramento, Cleveland, Cincinnati, San Francisco, Cincinnati, New York Jets, Indianapolis Colts, Buffalo Bills, Baltimore Ravens, New York Giants, Houston Texans.
13.
Wow,
In
that's a lot.
less than 10 years.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Is he that bad?
No, you just he's just a journeyman player. Anyways,
My conception is always that if you're traded that much, you must not be very good.
well, he has enough talent to stick around at least, with the team at some point. Anyways, player number 3, Chris Bryant.
Is this a trick one? How do you spell
What do you
Chris?
KRIS.
This is how he spells Chris?
Yeah.
Alright, then MLB, unless it's a trick.
Major League Baseball is correct. We did Major League Baseball. Obviously, Chris Bryant, Katie knows that name very well. Plays for the Cubs. But I decided to do Major League Baseball because pitchers and catchers are reporting. So, hooray for baseball season. It's the one sport that Katie knows most about. And now to the Josh Johnson reference, what do Josh Johnson and Chris Bryant have in common?
They both grew up in Las Vegas.
No. They both went to the same school.
They both went to Las Vegas.
No. They both went to the same college. What college is that?
University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
San Diego.
That's where Chris Bryant went?
Yep.
I should know that.
Did not go to UNLV. He did not go to UNLV.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I looked it up 10 minutes ago.
San Diego?
San Diego.
San Diego.
Anyways.
Gotta be pretty good to get signed that many times.
Yep. Anyways, we've rambled on this one, so this has been Coffee with Keith.
And Katie on Public House Media. Happy Valentine's Day, however you choose to or not to celebrate it.
Yep. Have a good one. Happy Valentine's Day. We will see you in a couple days for more Coffee with Keith.
And Katie on Public House Media.
Friday, 8:30. Don't miss it. See you later.
Bye, guys.